Well, this is the English guy in Mexico. It's the 4th of August 2018, first day of the English football season, and my team, Notts County, didn't do particularly well today. A 0-0 draw, but first game of the season and quite a few new players. Anyway, I came out here, I think the game finished about 11 o'clock Mexican time. I came out here and potted around the garden, and then I thought I'd try an experiment. Anybody that watches any of my videos, you'll know that I'm a bit of a crazy English guy in Mexico, because I wash my clothes in the garden, and that all the spare water feeds onto the plants. I'm on the edge of the semi-desert here in northern Mexico, and I thought I'd try a little experiment today, because one of the things I do is I tend to sit out in the garden under this palm tree most afternoons. Temperatures here are pretty much constant between 20 degrees centigrade in the winter and 30 degrees centigrade in the summer. And then I tend to go in the house about 5 or 6 o'clock after I've had a few beers and I put my dinner on, and I'll be honest, sometimes I burn it. I'm not too good at cooking and stuff, but I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and they were saying, well, why don't you just slow cook stuff in the sun, i.e. solar? And I thought, well, yeah, okay, well, I've got a few old bits of kit knocking around. Now, this is quite amazing. This is an old fridge freezer that I found in one of the garages here. I've got quite a nice bit of property, and my previous owners, who lived here for 50 years, they left loads of stuff. Now, this is an old fridge freezer. No, I think it's freezer. I'm not actually sure, to be honest. So I basically cut the motor out, sold that obviously, and you can see cut the pipes, the electrics are all hanging out of it, and I actually planted some potatoes in it. I've got all my own animals here. I went out, collected fertilizer. I do this fairly regularly just to show you. Look, there's buckets and any spare bit of bucket, plastic, old baths. See, that's why they call me the crazy English guy in Mexico. There's 3 old bathtubs there, 4, 5, 6, 8 bathtubs and gardens, and I just plant stuff. I've never really grown anything in my life, but I just like to see if stuff grows. Tomatoes, look, I just planted those last week. Look at them go, crazy. Anyway, getting back to today's little experiment. Got a bit bored this afternoon after Notts County's 0-0 draw, and I dragged this old fridge, well, I'm going to call it a freezer. I dragged it out into the sun, and I thought, let's play around with this thing and look at the temperatures. Now, in the shade, it's about 31, which is pretty standard here for summer. There you go, 30, 31, and the radio's in the background. Occasionally it will say 31. I then took the thermometer out into the sun, basically just laid it on the grass here, and it actually hit 50, and I thought, well, that's pretty good actually. It's fairly close to cooking temperatures. Then I thought, hold on, I dragged this freezer out, cleaned out one side of it, I've left the other side. I might grow my potatoes in this side and then lob them onto the grill. Now, it's a grill without any power. I found an old picture frame. I'll see if I can do this with the other hand. There's a picture frame. It's just laying on the top, look. Take the picture frame off. Wow, it's actually hot. Okay. I got some rock wool. I went in the garages. I remembered I had a sheet of rock wool somewhere. This stuff. This is what's left of the sheet that I found. I cut it up into strips. It's rock wool, which is insulation, but it's actually got a shiny side on it. So I cut it up into sections, and it all fitted in quite snugly around the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a piece on the bottom. 5 pieces. I got it as snug as I could. I then found an old pressure cooker that I really don't use. I mean, I got a couple of enormous pressure cookers from the 1970s. I got some spray paint, painted it black, And I've actually got some rice in there just to see what happened. But look at the temperatures here. Just sat in the sun, 70 degrees centigrade. Now, according to that meat thermometer, I am now cooking a steak. There's actually a picture of a cow at the top and then a young steer at 75 degrees. So obviously there's two types of steak you can cook. A lamb, apparently you can cook that at 80. Now, because I've took the lid off, look, the temperature is dropping. It's actually gone out of the 70 zone and it's dropped down to sort of 68-ish. I can apparently cook sheep, lamb, mutton at 80. Pork I can cook at 85. And chicken at 90. Well, I don't agree with the chicken because I think that's mainly due to the scares over the various diseases that chicken can give you. But if you know what your chicken is all about and you know it's pretty, I'm just putting the top on and I'm not even clamped it down. What I'm doing is I'm just sitting on the edge of that rock wool so that it feels fairly tight. Now that temperature will go up again. Now I'm going to do some more work tomorrow. Like I say, I haven't got an awful lot of time on this video. See the temperatures, I need to get that back up. But if I leave that back on there, apparently I'm cooking steak. Now as an experiment, I've just got some rice and some water inside just to see if the rice will expand. I'm not going to eat it, I just wanted to check. But I'm fairly sure that I don't need to connect my gas or my electric from my cooker, because I'm just going to keep filling this huge crock pot pressure cooker with food, potatoes, carrots, all the stuff that I'm growing here, tomatoes. I mean, I've got so much stuff growing. There's no way I can eat it all personally. I'm going to have to start giving some stuff away. I've got beetroot growing over here. Carrots, onions, I got stuff everywhere, just as a bit of fun. So this is the English guy in Mexico. Thank you to all the other YouTubers that gave me that idea. I spent an hour or so looking at YouTube videos, and basically the number of people that said, look, the power of the sun, once you can play around with settings and shiny bits and Bako foil. I mean, I could go out and get a load more Bako foil and stack it around here. In fact, I might do it. I might build up the sides with Bako foil and actually direct more sun in there. But according to me, just dropping it into an old freezer is I'm theoretically cooking steak at these temperatures. So this is the English guy in Mexico, the crazy English guy. Bye for now.